Alright, this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the absolute ultimate ramen. Costs 175 pesos and a little bit of extra care and tender love. Our ramen story begins at my favorite location for some of the tastiest and importantly the best value takeout food spot that can be found anywhere here in BGC. Despite being the height of an upscale experience, there are plenty of options where you can get yummy food without putting a hole in your wallet.
Gangnam Style.
This Japanese and Korean inspired corner of the food court at One Bonifacio Mall has two of my favorite takeout booths, the egg stop sandwiches, which will be the focus of a future video, but today we're visiting the great Mr Katsu. It might not have the absolute cheapest ramen you can have anywhere, but it does have the generous portions as well as high quality to draw my attention. At 175 pesos, or just over $3, you can get a lot of value for the money. I'm used to cooking at home, so in order to get more out of the takeout meals, I often like to quote-unquote enhance them by adding my own personal brand to them. Some people might consider my dishes to be some kind of sacrilegious Frankenstein monstrosities, but I already have a number of people who have seen the light of the magic that I perform in my humble kitchen. A disclaimer before we start. I have a habit of using measuring estimates with just my eyes, along with trial and error. While this is a far from perfect method, I practically always enjoy the results I get at the end, which is what really matters after all. For the Ukrainian in me, there are two critical ingredients that a dish like this absolutely needs to have, and one of them is the potato. Back when I was growing up in New York City, I was able to take them for granted, but now due to the inflation, they're going up in price everywhere. Stores in Brooklyn sell marbled potatoes like this for about $1.75 a pound, or about 220 pesos per kilo. Potatoes take a lot longer to cook, so I always toss them into the boiling water first before I start preparing the other ingredients. Here in BGC, I usually buy marbled potatoes for 195 pesos, or $3.42 for a kilo. I'm not against yellow onions per se, but I prefer red. I usually buy them at the marketplace here in BGC for about 153 pesos per kilo, or $2.70. I rely heavily on onions in my cooking, so just one onion isn't going to cut it. These two large onions are going to add a subtle taste and a lot of nutrients to any food I cook. After letting the potatoes and onions soak in the boiling water for a few minutes, it's time to get the seasoning. This creamy garlic mix is one of my favorite things to add to any soup-based dish, although I sometimes use it in other kinds of dishes too. Here are some more seasonings in my arsenal that I like to use. Magic Sarap makes everything better, really like magic. Red chili powder adds a really nice kick, and Mrs. Dash is the secret ingredient that adds a wonderful aroma to enhance any savory food. Vegeta is an Eastern European delight, and is kind of a salty version of Mrs. Dash. I sometimes use it sparingly. Any of these can add a lot of exciting flavor to any dish like this, and I like to mix and match them to add uniqueness to every meal that I make. Now that the potatoes and onions have been simmering for about 15 minutes, it's time to pour in the main course and the centerpiece of this meal. The ramen is already cooked, of course, but now it's going to mingle together with the other ingredients to become something truly magnificent. Final flavor enhancer I like to use is a generous amount of fresh garlic. An entire head of garlic might be a bit too much for some people to use for a pot like this, but it works great for me, so go at it according to your own preference. Even though the pot is almost full, I'm still not done yet. I like dropping a couple of eggs to scramble into the mix. I always make sure to wash off the chicken poop before cracking the eggs open. I know that it's not something that everyone does. The little bit of pork that was hiding in the ramen is the only low point of the original dish, so I put the eggs in to add a little protein bulk. Making a clean slice like this with a sharp knife helps to prevent pieces of the shell from getting into the food. Last but not least, it's a good opportunity to use about 2/3 of this wedge of authentic Italian Parmesan cheese that my mom sent from New York. Yes, this dish is becoming very rich indeed, because a pound of this, or not even half a kilo, goes for $20, or believe it or not, well over 1,000 pesos.
Oh my god.
Now the initial portion is done. Time to fill up a nice bowl of this awesome goodness. I absolutely love this result, at least from the past. Let's see how this one is. A little bit too thick. It just means that it needs a little bit more water, but you know what, that's okay. Whoa. You know, because of the extra garlic, this is actually even better than the results that I've had in the past. Yeah. Not enough water. This thing is always a work in progress when it comes to perfecting it. Maybe not quite perfect. It's too thick. But that just goes to show what an absolute treasure this is as far as a gift that keeps on giving. I love this thing. The flavor, the texture, the quality, and the value is absolutely undeniable. This is so good, guys. The garlicky flavor that I get, in addition to everything else that comes over here, is so good. Wow. Remember the free additional cup of rice? It comes with some extra pork, cabbage, and delicious chow quan sauce. It can be a great side dish on its own, but with some more water added, it's a great time to expand on this already amazing dish just a little bit further. That single cooked egg I crack open by mistake will be the final piece needed for this ever-expanding dish. It is truly a gift that keeps on giving. This right here is amazeballs. I love the result that I get from this kind of a compilation of relatively cheap takeout with a little bit of extra love and care. Just the right amount of spice, just the right amount of salt, just the right amount of garlic. And overall, for me personally, this is very well balanced. Of course, you should make this to your own preference. If you like more garlic, less garlic, if you like more spice, you can definitely add some chili flakes to it or other ingredients that you like, but that's just my personal take. This is some good quality food right here. The biggest take from all of this is that if you add eggs to it, just drop an egg and let it cook and simmer. That adds a lot of value to it. There's protein, there's bulk, and it's such an easy way to add extra heft to any meal that you're making. This right here is an ultimate ramen for me, especially for the price. So I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Always take care of yourselves and each other, and of course, keep looking out for more fun and exciting videos coming at you from the Timeless Food Travels. I'll see you on the next one. Now here's a bit of a bonus footage for you of my past stuffed ramen masterpieces. Please let me know in the comments what else you would like to see from my channel in the future. You might also want to take a look at my original channel, The Time-Lapse Traveler, for some more of my various adventures around the Philippines and beyond. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you very much for watching this video to the end. I'll see you in the next one.